10 at 10 starts now with breaking news.
Local breaking news we've just learned from Omaha police. There is now a warrant out for the arrest of Maurice Watson Jr.
The star Creighton basketball player is wanted for first-degree sexual assault. Earlier this month, a woman reported someone had non-consensual sex with her. This in the bathroom of an Omaha home. Watson is a suspect in that assault. We'll have more on this breaking story shortly, but first let's get an update on the upcoming snowstorm. This is a live look downtown Omaha, our First National Bank camera. It's raining right now, but in a few hours around us, snow could have a big impact on the morning commute. Most of the major school districts in the Omaha Metro have already canceled Friday classes in anticipation of the storm. We join Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord now with what we can expect.
Yeah, John O'Malley, there is a lot going on with this storm. We've had reports of nickel-sized hail from some of these isolated thunder showers. Yes, there are thunderstorms with this. You can see a couple of lightning strikes here over Council Bluffs. With this cell here, had a little nickel-sized hail trying to show up as it moved off towards the northeast. A couple more strikes here, and you can see the rain-snow line just kind of teetering right over the middle of the metro, and this is exactly what I was worried about. There'd be areas around Bennington, Elkhorn Valley that get a couple inches of snow out of this. Well, it's just mainly rain around Bellevue, Papillion, and over towards Council Bluffs, so that's setting up right in the middle. A couple of stronger cells down here in Cass County that'll be moving northeast as well. That could have a little bit of nickel-sized hail, but at the same time, we have a couple lightning strikes and even seeing some thunder sleet happening, just raining sleet while there's a thunderstorm passing over. And you can see this line of, well, rain-snow mix trying to move through, but there's a back edge to it. This is going to wrap up here in the next hour or two and move off towards the east, and then we'll wait for the next band, this wraparound snow back here to the west, to move in, and that's what will happen after 3 o'clock tonight, and that's what's going to greet us for the morning drive, and we'll add wind to the equation as well. More on totals and more on timing coming up later.
Rusty, the snow has already made its way to parts of Nebraska, and this is from the Department of Nebraska Roads. Highway 275 near Norfolk, a thick blanket of snow covering this road. Here in the metro, the snow could lead to a slow commute for the morning rush, but how is Omaha getting ready? Colin Ruane continues our coverage with the answer.
Well, we're at 204th and Dodge in Elkhorn. I just want to tell you what a difference 15 minutes can make. We had just gotten here. It was raining. We saw lightning, and now we're dealing with this, a lot of snow falling here in the Elkhorn area, and I want to show you the sidewalks are dealing with that mix right now. Obviously, I'm not wearing the best shoes for these conditions, but dealing with that slushy mess on the sidewalks. But the city of Omaha tells us it's ready for these changing conditions and for the morning commute.
We have a plan, and we are prepared.
That's the word from Omaha Mayor Gene Stothert as the city gets ready for a round of snow. A far cry from record-breaking temperatures in the 70s earlier this week.
We couldn't expect those 70 days in February to last forever.
Which is why more than 100 crews are ready to hit the roads, preparing for Friday morning's rush. The last snow system to move through the metro made for a slow commute earlier this month. That's because it was snowing as the drive happened. Mayor Stothert says if most people head to work Friday, it makes it harder for crews to clear crowded roads. It's supposed to snow at that point, too.
If there were no cars on the roads, the city trucks could do a great job and really clear things out. But unfortunately, we don't have control over that.
Still, crews are ready to start their fight, albeit a slow start thanks to Monday evening's rain. Crews can't pre-treat the roads with brine because the water will wash it away.
After that, we just continue to treat the snow like we would any other snow, but we lose the benefit of that pre-treatment.
So for now, the city just hopes your patience is ready as you head out the door in the morning.
The plows can only go as fast as the cars are going.
Well, the city could not put brine on the roads tonight because of that rain, which you can see is now turning into snow, especially here in the Elkhorn area. The street department tells me it is not worried about streets getting too slick in the process because the ground temperature has been staying pretty warm. But I did talk to Rusty a little bit earlier before we headed out tonight. He says those bridges and overpasses can get especially slippery when you just get some cold air under them. We actually also are getting recent radio reports in right now that Interstate 80 is starting to get slick as well, so you'll want to stay safe if you're heading out on the roads tonight.
Really coming down out there. Thank you, Colin. We'll continue tracking this system. We'll have live updates on the morning commute tomorrow on Daybreak.
And more now on that breaking news we brought you at the start of our newscast. WWT 6 News has learned there is now a felony arrest warrant issued for Creighton basketball player Maurice Watson Jr. Our Don Gurnice joins us now with more. Don?
Yeah, according to Omaha Police, the warrant issued is for first-degree sex assault. Now, it's unclear if Watson is in police custody at this time, but he is not currently listed as an inmate at the Douglas County Jail. Now, when I've asked university officials about the allegations, they're not able to tell us much about the specific case. We know the assault allegedly happened earlier this month at this apartment on Poppleton Avenue. The alleged victim is a 19-year-old Creighton student. She says Watson forced her to have sex with him in a bathroom. An option for victims in these cases is Creighton's Violence Intervention and Prevention Program. Organizers there told us they deal with about 20 survivors of assault a week. Of those 20, about 5 to 6 are visiting for the first time. When we talked to them a couple weeks ago, they said already this year the program has seen almost as many people as they did in all of 2016.
When we see our numbers going up here for services and help, we're really happy about that because we want them to be connected to support and not feel alone. We know that this happens on college campuses, and any college that says it doesn't is outright lying. There's no community immune from these issues, unfortunately.
We know back on February 6, Watson went back home to Philadelphia, reportedly to undergo surgery on his left knee. The next step in this criminal case all depends on where Watson is. If he's not in the metro, he may be extradited. Now, if he is in this area, according to Omaha officers that I spoke with tonight, he'll be booked just like any other suspect. Reporting live tonight in Omaha Metro, Don Grenese, WOWT 6 News.
Well, new tonight, a local Girl Scout troop says somebody tricked them out of cookies and money with a counterfeit bill.
Troop leader Angela Gosh says that her Girl Scouts were selling cookies outside of the Walmart 127th and L last night. A woman asked to buy 5 boxes of cookies, but she said she only had a $100 bill. Once the customer left with the cookies and $80 in change, Gosh says she and her daughter discovered this $100 bill was fake.
They tricked us. You know, and that was, you know, I had to explain that to our girls, that it doesn't matter what somebody looks like, you know, a bad guy can be a pretty girl.
It's little girls. I mean, why would you want to take money from little girls, honestly? Yeah.
Well, Gosh says she called police right away. The $100 loss will come out of the troop's cookie sale earnings.
The Waterloo Fire Department says the memory of a little boy will help them save lives. Today we got our first look at the department's new rescue boat. It's named in memory of Aspen Seaman. He is a little boy who drowned in a lake near Waterloo last summer. The boat will use special side-scan sonar technology to help in water rescues across the area. The department purchased the boat using memorial funds donated in Aspen's memory.
It was a big impact on the community, and for them to reach out to us to help us to save others, I think speaks volumes, and they've been very gracious with donating this boat for us to be able to, you know, utilize rescue efforts in the future.
The department says with more and more homes being built by bodies of water in the area, the need for this boat is greater than ever.
President Trump says that the United States needs to expand its nuclear weapons arsenal. In an interview with Reuters, President Trump saying the U.S. is falling behind on nuclear weapons and needs to move to the top of the pack. During a White House news briefing, Press Secretary Sean Spicer told reporters as long as other countries have nuclear capabilities, the U.S. needs to be unparalleled power.
The United States will not yield its supremacy in this area to anybody.
And the president did not say what kind of expansion the military would pursue.
Tonight, for the first time in 6 months, the main protest camp for the Dakota Access Pipeline is officially closed. Law enforcement in Morton County, North Dakota, spent the day removing the last protesters from the camp. Police have arrested 44 people for refusing to leave. The Army Corps of Engineers ordered the evacuation ahead of the spring snowmelt, fearing flooding in the area.
Developing tonight, investigators in Southern California are reviewing cell phone footage that shows an off-duty Los Angeles police officer pull a gun on a group of teenagers. In the video, the officer can be seen struggling with a group of teens. The officer eventually pulls out a handgun and fires a single shot into the ground. The incident has sparked large demonstrations in Anaheim, California. 2 teenagers involved in the incident are facing criminal charges. The officer was not arrested but has been placed on administrative leave.
A judge sets bond at $1 million for a teenager accused of firing gunshots at a state trooper. 17-year-old Shane Kildo is being charged as an adult. The state patrol says a trooper tried to pull him over for speeding in a stolen car near Valley, but Kildo didn't stop. The trooper says Kildo fired several gunshots at him, then bailed out of his vehicle and ran. Eventually, with the help of Omaha's police helicopter and the canine unit, he was caught. He faces several charges, including use of a weapon to commit a felony. A police chase ends in a crash near 2 Omaha schools, and residents want to know if the risk was really necessary.
Carjacking suspects crashed a stolen car near 37th and Ames Wednesday. The wreck involved other cars, but fortunately nobody was seriously hurt. Some neighbors are criticizing Omaha police, saying the chase put innocent people in danger.
That's why you see kind of stuff like that. People be scared. They get scared and they run, and then it's drama.
Police say whenever they initiate a pursuit, they consider all sorts of factors, from the condition of the streets to whether there's a lot of traffic. They say it's a balancing act to get dangerous criminals off the street in the safest way possible.
An Omaha real estate agent will remain behind bars, accused of killing a gas station employee last month. Seth Hansen died last month outside the Speedy Mart near 138th and Maple, where he worked. Police say Dirk Bloom was behind the wheel of the pickup that hit him. Today, a judge denied bond for Bloom. He will have to stay in jail until his trial begins. Bloom is charged with second-degree murder.
Fire breaks out in a North Omaha home, and the residents say they feel lucky that everyone's okay. This morning, a fire started in the attic of this home, 28th and Benny, and one of the residents says she was woken up to smoke filling the house.
It's a miracle that we're okay, because we all were sleeping when it happened, and if nobody would have woken us up, we wouldn't be here right now.
It took about 10 minutes for firefighters to put the flames out, but the house had already sustained major damage. Nobody was hurt, but 2 cats are still unaccounted for. The Red Cross is helping the home's 6 residents find another place to stay. Suicide is the leading cause of death for 10 to 14-year-olds.
I sit down with a mother. She opens up about losing her first son and why suicide is rising among this age group. It's now the leading cause of death for 10 to 14-year-olds, suicide. With numbers on the rise tonight, a mother opens up for the first time, about losing her son and how her life changed forever in that moment.
I'm still, I think, shocked that it's real.
October 12th, 2015. McCrae Melock will never forget the day her firstborn son left this world.
That night, everything seemed normal.
But Bodie's pain began far before that night. His love was baseball. He was a catcher. But an injury, then a tumor, led to surgeries.
Never really got his arm back.
At 15, no longer able to play baseball, and a falling out with a family member hit Bodie hard.
He would have depressing times and really sad times.
She said Bodie started rebelling, but still he was enrolled in college and he still had lifelong friends. As the depression hung on, she got him counseling.
But I was, trying anything.
Then that Sunday night, 18 months after Bodie's struggles surfaced.
Before they went downstairs to go play, he was like, "Thanks for dinner, love ya."
The next morning changed her life forever.
I flipped his light on like I normally do, and he wasn't in his bed. And then I found him. It was too late, too. There was nothing I could do.
There was no note. 17-year-old Bodie died by suicide. Bodie's suicide at such a young age is an alarming trend. Kids younger and younger are deciding to end their lives.
Statistically in Nebraska, 10 to 14 has suicide is the leading cause of death for that age group.
Julia Hebenstreit has been with the Kim Foundation for more than 5 years. The Kim Foundation works to raise suicide awareness and offer help.
Our kids aren't being taught healthy coping mechanisms and the resiliency piece. You know, people always say kids are so resilient, but really resiliency is a skill that needs to be taught and learned and honed over time.
Julia says sometimes kids don't tell their parents everything, but always remind them there's nothing that they can do to make you stop loving them.
When they're that young, they have a hard time grasping the finality of what they're doing.
McCrae says the month before Bodie died, it was the best month their family had had in a really long time. She later found out that Bodie had an argument with a girl over the phone that Sunday night, but she thinks it was 18 months of fighting depression that finally pushed him to the edge.
Over time, if you fight through it and put the work in, that living is a way better alternative than leaving, because there's so much hurt that's left behind too, and I wish he was still here.
And as McCrae holds this quilt, made entirely of Bodie's favorite baseball shirts through the years, she hopes her pain will save anyone who is watching this story and hurting.
I think he fought a good fight.
Suicide loss is unlike other losses. McCrae says one of the most difficult aspects to deal with after Bodie's death was people saying, "Talk to your kids." She did talk to her kids every day. She had open communication, but it didn't save Bodie. I posted a long list of warning signs as well as hotline numbers you can call. There is help out there for anyone who is hurting tonight.
As we take a look at the forecast for the next couple of days, it all focuses on tonight and tomorrow. I'll let you know how much snow falls and when it wraps up, coming up after the break. What a wacky last couple hours it's been weather-wise. We've had sleet, snow, lightning, thunder sleet, snow pellets, snow grains, all kinds of stuff happening. Here's a look at the radar right now with temperatures over top. You can see some of the colder numbers near 32, 33 where there's snow. Still holding on to 35 in the metro, but things are starting to flip in and around the Omaha area. We take the temperatures off, take you in a little closer, and you can see in and around Omaha in lightning mode here. There's a couple of lightning strikes around Bellevue out by the Air Force Base, and then off to the east into western Iowa. Those are moving off, and we're seeing snow take place right behind these. So it hasn't really been thunder snow. When it's tried to transition over, it's been more thunder sleet, and then we've had some wet, heavy snow. Elkhorn, Bennington Valley, Gretna flipped over to snow, and now starting to see that transition in the metro. The thing is, there's not too much left behind this. We didn't think this band would be too intense or last too long. I'd say 11, maybe midnight tonight. And then most of the accumulation is likely to be from what rolls in into the early morning hours tomorrow. But you can see we're still in that transition process right now. Even a pretty impressive line of some thunderstorms through Nebraska City trying to produce some nickel, even dime-sized hail as they move off towards the east. Getting a little snow, Wahoo, Lincoln, and that'll move through. There's our break, our dry pocket. I'll show you that on models and what that fills in with eventually this back here to the west, and that's what's going to swing through tomorrow morning and start to add up our snow. So 10 o'clock, you can see computer models doing a great job. They have that dividing line right through the middle of Omaha. That's what I was worried about. A little more snow happening in the northwest corner of the city, a little more rain happening in the southeast corner. Now, from 10 to midnight, there goes that. There's that little dry pocket I showed you on radar. So should have till about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, some pretty quiet conditions. Then we see the wraparound snow. That drops in from 3 to 4 and then sticks with us right into the morning hours. This will likely be about 1 to 2 inches of accumulation by 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. Then you start to pick up the winds, and the later we go into the morning, the drier, fluffier snow it's going to be, and that wind will be a factor. We're talking gusts during the day tomorrow with light to moderate snow falling, probably up near 35, 40 miles per hour out of the northwest. So 9 o'clock, some light to moderate snow. Still some of this happening as we head towards noon. And then it should slowly start to fade away, just be less and less of an issue during the afternoon, probably even a little quicker than this. You can see by 4 o'clock there's a back edge to this. And by about 6 or 7, there's really most of it out of here, maybe a little bit left in western Iowa. Now, how much does this add up to? Well, here's 10 o'clock tonight. You can see how any of the snow that's falling, probably not quite 2 inches at 10 o'clock in Elkhorn. We're getting that flip over and a little closer to 1 inch. But notice from 10 to midnight, this is the pocket in northwestern Douglas County where I was worried about getting 1 to 2 inch totals here by about midnight. Probably not 3.7 in Elkhorn. That's just a little pocket that probably has a little more sleet in it. But then pretty quiet through 3, and then watch what happens from 3 to 7 on this. There's what we fill in with another 1 to 1.5 inches. So by 7 o'clock, 1 to 2 looks to be pretty common, and then the map figures in our 2 to 4 inches with some isolated pockets a little bit higher on the northwest edge. That doesn't mean Elkhorn and Bennington will be at the 5-inch mark, but it shows us where the heavier pockets could be. I think a widespread 2 to 4 inches is what we're looking at in the metro, with heavier amounts off towards the north and to the northwest. So let's get you through the 10-day forecast here, and you can see after today, the next snow chances look to be pretty light and insignificant. Tomorrow is easily the worst day of the next 10. You can download our app, follow along with the latest, and look at the radar right there as it changes over to snow.
It's very kind of you to offer to babysit all of the kids for free tomorrow. You know, I put it on Facebook.
I didn't really know that happened.
Well,
thank you, though.
You're welcome.
What a way to find out.
The departing mayor of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, decided to do something special for his last State of the City address. It's making us smile.
2 and 2 is 4. 4 4 is 8. Come on, baby, we can't be late.
All right, he's got it. Mayor Ron Corbett. He performed the blues classic Sweet Home Chicago, but he changed the word Chicago to Cedar Rapids. After the performance, he gave an emotional farewell to the crowd.
This may not be Corbett's swan song. Many are speculating he plans to run for governor of Iowa.
Cool.
Can you sing the news like that?
Let's try it.
Okay, well,
maybe we practice that first.
Yes. Hey, I've got Nebraska basketball and district girls basketball finals highlights when we come back.
Now, sports with Ross Sternstrom, sponsored by Bank of the West.
Good evening, everyone. The Nebraska basketball team was on the road tonight. The Huskers were looking for their third win in a row against the Michigan State Spartans. Michigan State coach Tom Izzo watched the Spartans break the game open in the first half. Michigan State comes up with the steal, and check out the assist off the glass to Miles Bridges for the dunk. He finished with 20 points. Then at the end of the first half, Michigan State's Cassius Winston beats the buzzer from half court. The Spartans led 49-31. Nebraska got a strong game from Ty Webster. He hits the triple here. The senior led the Huskers with 19 points, but the Spartans went on to win easily. The final score was Michigan State 88 and Nebraska 72. The Huskers dropped to 12-15 on the season and 6-9 in the Big Ten. In women's college basketball, Nebraska lost to 25th-ranked Michigan 88-60. There were finals in Nebraska girls district basketball tonight. Top-ranked Millard South hosted Kearney. The student section was swaying in this one back and forth. The game in the fourth, Lauren Sanders gets a wide-open look and knocks it down for the Patriots. But here comes Kearney. Alexis Michaud with the double crossover to get in the lane and get the floor to fall to put Kearney ahead. And that's where they stayed. Michaud hits Claire Vanderbeek for the lay-in and the foul. The final score was Kearney 44 and top-ranked Millard South 35. Big upset. The Patriots will try to go in as a wild card. Meanwhile, at Westside, the third-ranked Warriors face Northwest. Westside's Quinn Wiedemann draws defenders. It leaves Caroline Leibel wide open. She knocks down the triple, but it was a Husky night. Pushing the floor, Navia McKinney gets into the lane for the bucket. The final score was Northwest 50 and Westside 47. That is the Huskies' first trip to the state since 1980. Can you believe it? The Warriors can still get a wild card to stay. For the second year in a row, Bellevue West Jessica Warwick won the state diving title in Lincoln. Warwick dominated the competition. The junior posted an 11-dive score of 485.25 points. She finished more than 100 points ahead of the 23-team field. She is the first Bellevue West diver to win back-to-back titles. Warwick said she felt a lot of pressure to repeat as state champ.
I felt a lot of extra pressure this year, just everyone asking like, oh, you won last year, are you going to win again this year? Knowing that I'd done it once, so it's time to step up and do it again. That added a little more pressure. When I started my dives, I could feel myself shaking on the board, but the second round got better, and then the last round I was really calm and relaxed. So.
And Bellevue West also won the boys diving title. Cole Armagos finished with 473 points. The senior beat out Aaron Hafner of Lincoln Northeast by 24 points. Great day for the Thunderbirds. They sweep both diving titles. And in college baseball, out in Surprise, Arizona, Nebraska lost to 8th-ranked Oregon State 10-1. And Doug McDermott is no longer a Chicago Bull. He's going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He got traded today, so good luck to Dougie.
Driving distance, you can get there.
Yeah, we can go.
We'll have a final check of Rusty's snowy forecast when we come back.
All right, well, it's snowing. We finally changed over to snow in a good chunk of the metro. Let's take a look at one of the city cam shots right now, and you can see that it's snowing at a pretty good clip. I guess we're working on it right now. If not, you can just go to one of the graphics. That's fine.
Just close your eyes and imagine it.
You can look out the window and probably see it in quite a few spots. But yeah, we're flipping over to snow here in the metro. The thing is, there's not much left at the west edge of Saunders County, and it's kind of bounced back and forth a little bit. So 2 to 4 inches of accumulation in the metro. That's through tomorrow afternoon.
Enjoy your snow day, kids. Moms and dads, you too.
Shovel.
WOWT 6 News is everywhere. Watch every newscast streamed live on our website and mobile app.